On the African savannas, hyenas are not bystanders. They actively enter risky situations, maintain pressure, and constantly weigh every move. Hyenas survive not through superior strength, but through long-term strategy, pack discipline, and patience. This is how a species adjusts its pace of survival to the realities of the situation, rather than seeking quick results. Hyenas are a species that readily approaches and puts pressure on many larger animals, from antelopes, buffaloes, leopards, to even lions in certain circumstances. They don't shy away from risk, but proactively approach with clear calculations, step by step. The hyena's survival strategy doesn't rely on strength or speed. They aren't the strongest nor the fastest, but they possess the highest endurance. Their strategy focuses on maintaining long-term pressure rather than seeking quick results. Adult spotted hyenas can weigh up to 190 pounds, possessing very strong jaws suited to a diverse diet. They live in large packs, sometimes exceeding 80 individuals, organized into matriarchal societies led by females with high pack discipline and a system of communication through sound, scent, and body language. Thanks to this structure, hyenas coordinate effectively, knowing when to approach and when to keep their distance. They operate in packs, which can split into small groups or closely follow food sources for extended periods. Active both day and night, in open or dense environments, hyenas contribute to regulating animal populations and processing leftover food, thereby limiting the risk of disease outbreaks. Wildebeest are herbivorous animals that migrate in large herds, notable for their speed, which can reach nearly 50 miles per hour, and their strong horns. When moving in large groups, they rely on speed and numbers to reduce risk. In a stable formation, each individual is always shielded by those around them. When faced with a herd of wildebeest, hyenas do not attempt a direct approach. They observe the moving formation, monitoring the pace of each individual. Their attention is focused on the young, the weak, or those lagging behind when the herd changes direction. Pressure is exerted from multiple directions, causing the formation to gradually lose cohesion. When chaos arises, hyenas move closer but maintain a safe distance. Their goal is not individual strength, but to undermine the wildebeest's group advantage. Breaking the formation causes an individual to be separated for a short time. The outcome of the approach depends on coordination and timing. If the antelope herd maintains its rhythm and formation, the hyena will stop. When an individual loses contact with the group, the advantage shifts to the hyena. This is a prime example of tactics based on organization and patience rather than lone strength. Rhinos are among the largest animals in Africa, weighing up to around 5,000 pounds and having skin nearly 2 inches thick. This size and body structure makes an adult almost unrivaled in nature. In rare approaches, hyenas don't target adult rhinos. Their strategy focuses solely on the rhino calves, once they are separated from their mother's protection. Pressure is maintained for extended periods, sometimes for hours, with a very low success rate, only about 10%. The outcome in most situations is that the hyenas voluntarily back down. This demonstrates the hyena's high level of patience and highlights the significant risks involved in confronting rhinos. Hyenas only attempt to fight when the opportunity is clear and retreat when conditions are no longer favorable. African buffaloes are large herbivores, known for their ferocity and strong herd spirit. A herd always moves in close-knit groups, ready to react collectively to any threat. This unity makes buffaloes particularly difficult opponents to approach. When facing a herd of buffalo, hyenas don't try to get close directly. Their strategy focuses on stalking from a distance, observing the rhythm of movement, and looking for weaknesses in the formation. Their target is often a buffalo calf, when the mother buffalo temporarily loses her protective rhythm while the herd changes direction or is disrupted. Pressure is maintained continuously, but cautiously. Hyenas try to split the formation, reducing the buffalo's ability to react collectively. However, most situations end with the hyenas being forced to stop due to the herd's tight coordination. The hyena's success rate in such approaches is only about 15%. This result clearly demonstrates the limitations of hyenas against a highly organized opponent. This wasn't a test of strength, but rather a trial of patient tactics and the solidarity of the pack. Leopards are solitary predators, relying primarily on silence and stealth. After securing their food, leopards often climb tall trees or move to secluded areas to avoid being disturbed. Their solitary lifestyle allows them to be agile, but also means a lack of support when facing prolonged pressure. When hyenas appear, they don't rush to approach directly. The hyena's advantage lies in their numbers and constant presence around the area. Their regular sounds and organized movements gradually narrow the leopard's safe space. The psychological pressure increases over time, forcing the leopard to constantly monitor multiple directions simultaneously. During this phase, the hyenas don't seek direct conflict. They patiently maintain their distance, waiting for their opponent to make a decision. As the risk continues to increase, the benefit of the food source is no longer enough for the leopard to maintain its position. In reality, about 50 to 60% of cases end with the leopard abandoning its food source. The hyenas achieve their objective without fighting. This is a victory based on sound, numbers, and patience, clearly demonstrating how hyenas control the situation through collective organization rather than individual strength. Lions are the apex predators of the grasslands, possessing great strength and clear territorial control. A mature individual, especially a male lion, can deter many other species. However, lions also need to protect their food and living space from competitors. When hyenas confront lions, it's not a simple approach. Hyenas only exert pressure when the lion is alone, or when they have a numerical advantage. Sounds are heard, individuals move around the area, constantly testing the lion's reaction. If the lion is a healthy, mature individual, the hyena quickly maintains distance and stops. The outcome of these encounters depends on both sides' assessment of the situation. Hyenas may gain the advantage when conditions allow, but will retreat when the balance shifts. This is a long-standing antagonistic relationship, where neither side is willing to risk crossing its own safety limits. African wild dogs are pack hunters, notable for their precise coordination and high group discipline. Each individual maintains its position, creating an efficient movement system around the food source. This coordination helps wild dogs maintain an advantage in many situations. When hyenas appear, competition immediately forms. Hyenas use their numbers and jaw strength to exert pressure, while wild dogs maintain formation and react quickly. Both sides move around the food source, constantly assessing the risks. The outcome usually favors the side that is more persistent and numerous at that moment. If the hyenas maintain pressure, the wild dogs will leave. If the wild dog formation is not broken, the hyenas will stop. Hyenas don't seek absolute victory in every approach. They only act when conditions allow and retreat when the balance shifts. Patience, coordination, and situational assessment determine the outcome. In the natural world, knowing when to stop is also a form of survival. On the vast savanna, hyenas are not the strongest predators, but they are a species that knows how to wait, how to read the situation, and how to take advantage of their opponent's weakest moments. Recorded confrontations show that fear doesn't come from sudden bursts of strength, but from persistent pressure and unwavering presence. Leopards appear in the quiet afternoon. They move low, observing carefully, accustomed to hunting alone. An adult leopard weighs approximately 90 to 160 pounds. Their ability to strike quickly and accurately allows them to control many hunts. Leopards are effective predators. But in the wild, capturing prey is only the first step. Securing the food source is the longer and more complex challenge. While the leopard remains in the foraging area, hyenas begin to appear. They approach from multiple directions, unhurriedly, maintaining a safe distance. Hyenas avoid getting too close, as at close range, leopards always pose a significant threat. Instead of a direct confrontation, hyenas attack low and move around the perimeter. They target vulnerable points, applying constant pressure. Each advance forces the leopard to adjust its position and observation. The safe space gradually narrowed. Staying meant increasing risk. Over time, the balance of power began to tilt. Ultimately, the leopard abandoned the food source, not because of inferior skill, but because the risks outweighed the benefits of holding on. The hyena achieved its goal through strategy and patience. In the wild, leopards may be excellent predators, but holding on to prey under the pressure of a large group is the toughest test of survival. African buffaloes stand firmly in the savanna. With their massive bodies and strong, curved horns, they rarely move alone. A mature buffalo can weigh over 1,300 pounds. Their strength lies not in speed, but in endurance and herd spirit. When they sense danger, the buffalo herd quickly changes formation. The stronger individuals move to the front. The weaker ones are kept in the center. The entire herd forms a unified defensive block. Hyenas appear in large numbers. Even with more than 10 individuals gathered around the herd, they maintain distance and observe. Any attempt to approach is met with a unified reaction. The buffaloes build a living wall. Their horns point outwards. The distance between individuals is kept tight. There are no gaps to exploit. The hyenas search for a lone individual, but the formation does not break. There was no clear target to exert pressure on. When they couldn't break the unity, the hyenas gradually retreated. The pressure decreased with each step back. The outcome was determined without confrontation. The buffalo held its position thanks to its cohesion. With the hyenas, when they couldn't separate the individuals, the approach had to end. African wild dogs move with quiet discipline. They travel in packs, coordinating seamlessly, each individual aware of their distance and timing. An adult wild dog weighs approximately 50 to 70 pounds. Their strength lies not in individual effort, but in their teamwork. Speed and communication signals give wild dogs an advantage in many situations. They have even won food from leopards through precise coordination and quick action. But that advantage is only sustainable as long as the group remains intact. Hyenas appear with a slower, heavier pace. They advance in groups, maintaining distance, gradually closing the space. A spotted hyena can weigh between 120 and 140 pounds. Their collective presence creates constant pressure. The approach is calculated. Hyenas reclaim food sources using their strong jaws and endurance. Within the pack, stronger individuals approach first, reflecting a clear social order. As the wild dogs try to regroup, space becomes increasingly limited. Coordination gradually diminishes under the prolonged pressure from the hyenas. The wild dogs are forced to retreat to avoid unnecessary risk. In nature, cooperation can create strength. But when pressure exceeds limits, knowing when to retreat is the key to survival. Buffaloes move steadily with their herds across the savanna. Their large size and steady gait allow them to rely on their numbers to minimize risk. An adult buffalo can weigh between 400 and 600 pounds. When the herd maintains formation, safety is maintained. However, this stability isn't always perfect. Young buffaloes move more slowly and are more likely to fall out of sync. Just a moment of misalignment can instantly weaken the collective defense. Hyenas quickly recognize the vulnerability. They focus on the young buffalo, approaching low and cautiously. Their target is chosen based on weakness, not strength. The reaction is almost instantaneous. The mother buffalo charges straight forward with a strong protective instinct. A single direct charge was enough to disrupt the approach. There was no prolonged struggle. When the advantage vanished, the hyena retreated. The outcome was clear. Hyenas only win when their prey is weak and unprotected. For wildebeest, the bond between mother and offspring is a crucial survival boundary that cannot be overlooked. Zebras move in herds across the vast savanna. They rely on speed, alertness, and the ability to maintain formation. A healthy zebra always maintains a safe distance from potential threats. When strong enough, zebras rarely find themselves in disadvantageous situations. The situation changes when an individual suffers a leg injury. In a short time, its ability to defend itself is significantly reduced. Its movement slows, causing it to gradually separate from the herd. Hyenas quickly recognize the abnormality. They approach cautiously, alternately applying pressure from multiple directions. Their approach isn't aimed at a quick finish, but rather at prolonging the fight to weaken the opponent. As the weakening becomes apparent, more and more hyenas appear. The numerical advantage is formed silently. The outcome gradually takes shape. For hyenas, injury often means unavoidable risk. Their results don't come from direct strength, but from their ability to recognize and exploit weaknesses at the right moment. Cheetahs appear on the savanna with their familiar caution. Slender and agile, they are predators that rely almost entirely on speed. An adult cheetah typically weighs between 75 and 140 pounds. Their survival strategy is to finish quickly and leave before risk arises. After completing a hunt, the cheetah lingers briefly to regain its breath. Food is right in front of them, but vigilance is no longer at its highest. In the distance, hyenas are foraging. They spot the presence of a lone individual and approach. No chase is necessary, just being present at the right time. The pressure builds with each step closer. The cheetah understands its limitations in prolonged situations. It wasn't built to hold its ground against multiple rivals. Eventually, the cheetah leaves the area. The food source is left behind. The hyenas seize the prey through timing and numbers. In the wild, cheetahs are efficient hunters. But when faced with pressure from multiple sides, speed is no longer enough to maintain a gain. Lions appear with a slow, controlled gait. As the apex predator of the savanna, they are accustomed to confronting and maintaining their position. A mature lion can weigh over 400 pounds. Its strength lies in its physical prowess, composure, and ability to directly overwhelm. When alone, a lion is still a formidable opponent. But on the savanna, individual strength is not always enough to guarantee safety, especially when the number of opponents begins to increase. Hyenas appear from multiple directions, initially a few individuals, then quickly becoming more numerous. When their numbers exceed 24, the pressure is created in a very different way. Without rushing, they maintain distance and wear down the lion's concentration. The lion resists while surrounded. It holds its position, constantly shifting to avoid being cornered from behind. Every move the hyena makes is calculated to prolong the tension. In such moments, the balance isn't on the strike itself. It's on time and psychology. As long as the hyena's confidence remains, the pressure continues. Then the situation changes. From a distance, another lion appears. Just one more individual, and the entire battle instantly reverses. The presence of the alliance causes the hyena to lose its psychological advantage. The formation begins to spread out. Individuals retreat as the balance of power shifts in their favor. The lion doesn't need to pursue. Power has been re-established. In nature, lions may be strong when alone, but it is alliance that provides long-term survival insurance. For hyenas, victory only exists when numbers and confidence are present. The recorded moments show that hyenas are not the strongest predators on the savanna. They win through timing, numbers, and the ability to maintain pressure at the right time. Through each encounter, the line between safety and danger becomes very thin. In nature, survival belongs to those who understand when to advance and when to wait.